You people love to ignore the truth. And the truth of the matter is, Raheem hasn't shown us anything. Raheem has showed that he can team with other coaches who are in charge and be a part of something that he did not build. Hey, let me say this again. Raheem hasn't shown us anything outside of he can be a part of something someone else built. Okay? Yes, I'm starting off the fuckery early. I am starting off with the truth early. This will not be a particularly long live, but I wanted to get on and tell you people from the very start that this is what is. The truth of the matter is, you people have blind faith in someone who repeatedly shows us nothing but what is possible. Do fans care about what is possible? Or do you want people to show you what is, what you can do, results, consistency? Or do you want to continue to harp on the might be's, the possible? Well, I'm not one of those guys who blindly supports somebody who can't be consistent at anything. The Atlanta Falcons, under the best quarterback in NFL franchise history, was the winningest era in Falcons football and franchise history. That is the truth. This guy, Matt Ryan, again, you just look at the wins, the numbers that he put up as a quarterback. You can even look at Mike Smith and say Mike Smith deserves more praise than Raheem Morris. You can say that Dan Quinn deserves more praise. Why? It's because they've actually built something defensively. They've actually built something that we can be proud of as a fan. Dan Quinn not only took us to a Super Bowl, but he allowed his coaches to do what they do. And I'm talking about offensively. I'm talking about defensively to a certain extent until he got the big head. But at least I can say that Dan Quinn did something. I can look at myself and say Dan Quinn did something. But I can't look at myself and and say to myself that, yep, Raheem Morris did something. Raheem Morris did something on his own. He didn't join an already good team and add a little couple of pieces here and there. This is the second time he's done this. This is the truth of the matter. This is the second time he's done this. Yeah, you know Tampa Bay? Yeah, those Tampa Bay fans know exactly who Raheem is and what he isn't. He was given the opportunity to take over a team that was already built. Does that sound familiar? Throw your hands in the air, okay, if you understand what your boy is talking about. Raheem Morris, this is the second time that he's been given the opportunity to take over a team that was already built. And the reason why that I am listening, this is why right now, this is why you guys are, this is one of the reasons why y'all are listening to me right now. You're probably saying, Mike, what brought this on again, Mike? Because some guy, again, without leaving any reasons as to why, Carlos, what's good? But this is another reason when you look at these fake ass Falcons fans who want to blindly support people because, it's loyal to the logo. Bitch, please. Don't give me this loyal to the logo when you barely know anything about his career, when you barely know anybody on the roster. People have no idea who Easton Stick is. And it's like, Mike, I'm loyal to the logo, but you have no idea who Easton Stick is. You have no idea who Jace McCullough is. You have no idea what a lot of these, even the tight ends. You barely know the tight ends. You barely know the offensive lineman. You don't know who the hell Nelson is. You don't know who Jack Nelson is. You don't know where guys like Clark Phillips III. You barely know these guys, but you want to live to this bravado. You want to live to this fake ass, and I'm talking about fake. This is what we talking about. We talking about fake fandom. Y'all want to blindly follow guys that are quote unquote popular and cool. Y'all want to follow this. Yeah, I want to follow this nonsense. Okay. Y'all want to follow this fake ass, and I'm talking about this fake ass super fan bullshit because you wanna buy hats, jerseys, shoes, Jordans, and go sit in the stands with my boys, okay? Guys like DeMario, Picture Man, y'all want to sit in the stands with them and call yourself fucking super fans? The Eric Parkers of the world, y'all want to sit next to them at the game and say, yeah, I support my Falcons. But you can't tell me who's the defensive coordinator. You can't tell me who the hell the special teams coach is. You can barely tell me who the fucking punter is, but I'm supposed to sit behind you and say, yay, Raheem. What has Raheem has done? I'm acting again, and I will not shut up and I will not stop getting on Raheem until you, the fan, are realistic with yourselves. You're not realistic with yourself, but you're realistic with a guy like who? Desmond Ritter. You guys are perfectly fine trying to ruin this guy's life, but a guy like Raheem Morris who gets chance after chance after chance because he has he can smile and he can giggle and laugh with his players and do all this stuff with his players. You guys are fine watching him go 8-9 with a team that is talented, with a team that has constant, consistent players. We got Tyler Algier, we got Bijan Robinson, Drake, Kyle, Mooney, etc., etc., etc. One of the best blocking teams in Charlie Warner, one of the best offensive lines in NFL. Started with the most consistent left tackle in the league. And Jake Matthews, one of the young up-and-coming star offensive linemen. Do y'all know who that is? The guy that's sitting next to him? Do you know anything about Matthew Bergeron? Do you know anything about Ryan Newsel? Do you know anything about Chris Lindstrom? Do you know anything about Caleb McGarry and what his numbers has drastically improved? But no, you want to blindly support Raheem Morris and kiss his natural smiley ass. And I'm supposed to sit up here and listen to your nonsense about somebody. Oh, here you go. We're hating on Raheem. You're hating on the black man. I'm hating on the black man. This man is responsible for bringing in Jimmy Lake. Let me say this again. He is responsible for bringing in Jimmy Lake, the same guy that you say is the reason why the Atlanta Falcons defense looks so bad. Let me say this again. He's responsible for hiring Jimmy Lake, one of his good friends, one of the guys that he said he believes in. He's responsible for this. And guess what you guys do? Give him a pass because he can smile. Y'all give him a pass because he's black. You give him a pass because he can wear Jordans. You give him a pass because he and Drake are smiling and high-fiving each other. And it looks cool. It looks cool. I'm not going to put him because I'm not going to say I don't believe that he's responsible for bringing in Michael Penix. I believe that was Arthur Blank. I believe that was Terry Fontenot, and I believe that was Kyle Smith. I do not for 1 second believe he's responsible for Michael Penix. Do I believe that he was in the room looking at and scouting the guy and breaking down? Yes, I do. But I do not believe for 1 second that he wanted Michael Penix, because if that was so, guess what? He would have never brought in a guy at $100 million. You would have never spent $100 million on a quarterback if Michael Penix was your guy all along. For one damn second, you're not going to convince me that Michael Penix is a Raheem Morris guy. No one is going to convince me when we saw Kirk Cousins play awful ball. And I'm talking about awful ball. Disgusting ball. He looked, and time again, he looked toward the sideline. He looked up at this guy throwing 10 interceptions, and you didn't say to yourself, bro, we got to get to the playoffs. This guy's not playing well. You trying to tell me that he believed in Michael Penix? No. That right there was pulled by the upper echelon, okay? The upper echelon of Falcons front office. They pulled that. Because Raheem has already let it be known that he's the type of person he's going to stick behind players that he brought in. He's already showing you. This guy smiled in y'all face and said he loves Grady Jarrett, and Grady Jarrett is the guy that we build around. Not even a year later, he's gone. So again, all he has to do is do something. All he has to do something. I don't want to hear, oh, well, he has to be good at something. He got to be good at something. Raheem, they didn't hire him for no reason. Well, tell me the reasons why they hired him. I got time today. Tell me the reasons why Raheem was hired. Because I can hire a $2 hooker. I can hire a damn cheerleader to be a head coach to smile in players' face. I can do that. I can smile and handshake our starting running back. I can smile and handshake our starting quarterback. I can do that for our number one receiver. I can do that. What is Raheem Morris good at outside of teaching DB rooms? Is he really good at that? Is he really great at that? Because from what I understand, Jerry Gray is instrumental, and I mean, he is key to that Atlanta Falcons secondary. He helped bring in guys like Clark Phillips, Xavier Wise, all these guys. Even the guys that we drafted this year, the corners, he was in on those. Terry Fontenot. I am waiting for someone to tell me. Please tell me. See, here you go. This is see this take a real close look at this, y'all. I'm about to read this. This is what happens when you ask what is Raheem good at. This is what happens. This is what happens every single time, and it never fails. I want to be shut up. I want to be shut up. Please shut me up. Whether it's Raheem or you, somebody tell me where I'm wrong. Somebody shut me up. Show me the money. Show me the truth. Show me the facts. Show me the stats. Show me. Because all I've seen from Raheem is he's really good buddies and really good at tag teaming. And tag teaming on something that someone else built. He's really good at that. He says, well, Bill didn't show anything after Brady left and probably wanted full control, which Blank didn't want. No, that's not what happened. Bill Belichick is not an offensive guru. He's a guy that understands offense, and that's why he brought in brought in Charlie Weiss, Josh McDaniels to run it. Josh McDaniel has been running that, and Charlie Weiss and Josh McDaniels has been running that offense ever since Bill Belichick has been in New England. Okay? So stop it. Stop the nonsense. Okay? Think about what you type before you type it. Bill Belichick has never been an offensive guru. But does he understand personnel? Yes. Does he understand talent? Yes. But if you look at Bill Belichick throughout his entire career, not only as a defensive coordinator with the New York Giants, but with the Cleveland Browns, when he was his defenses are always top notch. So that's why he was hired as a head coach. He actually showed his worth. Okay? Okay? It's not an offensive guru. So this is what happens when people, when you hit a nerve and strike a nerve with their favorite guy, and their favorite person. They keep deflecting. I told you to show me where Raheem Morris is good at anything. Show me the way. Show me the money. Okay? I am bowing down. I am bowing down to anyone. I am challenging anyone to show me what his worth is. Show me. That's it. How is that too hard? How is that too hard? How is it too hard for you to show me the money without deflecting and talk about Bill O'Brien and all these other guys? I told you to show me his worth. I don't give a flying fuck about Bill Belichick. I don't give a fuck about no Bill O'Brien, and I don't give a fuck about none of that. Show me what the Atlanta Falcons head coach is great at. Because at this point, he's shown us nothing, but he is a great communicator. He can talk. He can dance. He can smile. He can put together a defensive back room that gets interceptions and get turnovers. He's shown me that he's consistent with that, but being a defensive coordinator and leading the defense, because that's his level of expertise. Offense has never been his level of expertise. And the same goes for Bill Belichick. Don't try to tell me that Bill Belichick is not a great coach, because he is. A great coach understands when he needs to make the necessary adjustments, whether it be his quarterback's coach, his offensive coordinator, his defensive coordinator. He understands when he needs to change. And don't give me this communication ain't key, okay? Communication ain't key if you can't curse with a goddamn, okay? I can talk my ass off. Okay, so, all right. Here he goes. Everybody's path have to be the same. Absolutely. Yes, it does. Everybody's paths have to be the exact same. It does. You know why? Because you show growth. Growth as a defensive coordinator. Growth as a quarterback's coach. Growth as the offensive play caller. Growth as a quarterback. Growth as a defensive line coach. Growth as a linebackers coach. Growth as a defensive backs coach. Growth. Show me the growth. Show me the consistency. Show me where you can look at him and say, this guy is responsible for helping build this particular team or this particular player. Show me. Everybody's path has to have one thing, and that's consistency. Yes. Whether we like it or not, I know for sure what I'm going to get out of a Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Josh McDaniels. I know what I'm going to get out of those guys. I know what I'm going to get out of a Kyle Shanahan's offense. You're going to get a lot of play action. You're going to get a hell of a lot of run plays, and you're going to get some big time plays. And you're going to get some great offensive line play. I know what I'm getting when I'm getting those guys. So everybody's path has to be the same. And that's at some point in time, you got to show us consistency. The way of the world is consistency. The way of the world ain't promise. The way of the world is not maybe one day he'll be great because I believe in him. He came in and fixed the weaknesses we were having in Atlanta. And what is that, sir? We were the worst pass. Okay? Don't tell me anything other than that. Because we at Atlanta Falcons have always been an amazing offensive talent. An amazing offensive team. Always. What our weaknesses with the Atlanta Falcons, it has been pass rush and consistent pass rush ever since 2012 at the great John Abraham. We still haven't fixed that. So what, sir, has he actually fixed? Because it ain't pass rush. It isn't overall defense. It isn't a consistent run stopping. It isn't consistently getting interceptions and turnovers. So what exactly has he improved? What weaknesses has he improved? What? Please tell me. I want to know. I want to know. Please, I want to know. Tell me what he has done. Someone show me the stats, show me the money. I want to be proven wrong. He hasn't fixed anything. You, sir, said he's fixed the weaknesses. We still can't rush the passer consistently. We still couldn't stop the run. We still had the same 2 to 3 guys getting interceptions and turnovers on defense, and that was Jesse Bates and Jesse Bates and Jesse Bates. We had A.J. Terrell being a consistent player with and without him. A.J. Terrell was a good defensive back with Dean Pease, with Ryan Nelson, with Raheem Morris. So what exactly is he fixing? These things are not that hard to tell. So here we go with the victim. This is what we talking about. Oh, we didn't have an incompetent defense. Go right back. What did I say earlier, you guys? Who brought him in? Who brought him in? If Jimmy Lake is incompetent, he's his best friend. He suggested that Jimmy Lake be the defensive coordinator. It wasn't Arthur Blank. It wasn't Grady Jarrett. It wasn't A.J. Terrell. It wasn't the general manager and Terry Fontenot. It was Raheem. So if he's incompetent, can we truly trust Raheem's judgment? Mike, that sounds like a player problem if only one player is getting most of your interceptions. That's a player problem? No, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Why? It's because if you look at guys, if you look at some of the great defensive backs in the league, a lot of them don't have a lot of interceptions. A lot of them don't have. It's just you every once in a while you get the prime times. Every once in a while you get the Sean Taylors. Every once in a while you get the Charles and Rod Woodson. Every once in a while you get those types of guys that don't get they get a lot of turnovers and they get a lot of interceptions. So that's not necessarily a player problem. I mean, let's keep it real. We know quite a few guys that played for the Atlanta Falcons that was at that safety position that got a lot of turnovers, but they were horse crap in coverage. And one of them you saw that made a Pro Bowl one year. Anybody know who that guy is? Who made a Pro Bowl? And we never seen him. He got a whole bunch of interceptions and made the Pro Bowl. That's not a player problem. That's not a player problem. Because guess what coaches have to do? You can say, all right, these guys aren't, they weren't ranked elite defensive backs coming out of college or whatever the case may be. You can say that, but it's still at the end of the day, coaches still have to coach these guys up and put them in position to succeed. If I see that Justin Simmons isn't playing well as a free safety and he's playing better as a slot guy or closer to the line of scrimmage or a strong safety, and I don't put him in a position where he plays better, whose fault is that? Is it the player or is it the coach for not understanding what these guys are good at? If I understand that Bijan Robinson is better running outside zone running schemes than inside zone running scheme, then whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Because Bijan's skill sets doesn't change. His skill set doesn't change because he is who he is. So if I'm constantly running inside zone running scheme when I know Bijan Robinson is the best, and I mean best running back as far as outside zone running scheme is concerned, and I don't do that, and I don't put him in position to do that, it's like telling Kyle Pitts to consistently run flat routes when he's better at running dig routes. You're telling him to go in flat routes to continuously run flat routes when he's best at running dig routes. It's like telling Julio Jones, I need you to keep running that deep fade over and over and over and over again when you've shown that, fades aren't necessarily your strength. He can do it, but it's not necessarily your strength. It's like telling Calvin Ridley to go over the middle when you know damn well he's scared as shit to go over the middle. And like I said, I got time today. We don't know if that issue has been fixed. We don't know if Jeff Ulbrich. You hoping that Jeff Ulbrich is getting it. We haven't seen any of that. I don't give a damn about no hope. You think your defensive lineman is sitting up here talking about, I hope I get 10 sacks. I hope we become no. They saying, look, show me the way so we can get it done. Show me where I need to play so we can get it done. Highlight my skills so we can get it done. I don't know how true it is, but I heard he brought in late because he got hired late and it wasn't too many options on the table. No, Raheem didn't get hired late. That's not true. Actually, the Falcons went out and got Raheem because they did not like what they saw with Bill Belichick, what in turn turned out to be one of the problematic issues is that woman of his. So Raheem, they were more comfortable with bringing him in because of familiarity. On top of it, I believe at that time too, Jim McMahon, good God, Jim Harbaugh had already taken the job. I believe he was already closing in on taking the job in San Diego, or he had already taken the job in San Diego. But they were really looking at Harbaugh as well. But with the familiarity of Raheem Morris, it made sense for the organization to hire him. We brought in Judon and had him dropping in coverage on wheel routes. Bill Belichick had Matt Patricia as offensive coordinators, one of his guys, and it didn't work. Dog's Rule, thank you, sir, for this comment. I really thank you for that. Really do. Okay? I really appreciate you doing that. But don't give me this bullshit about Raheem, you putting guys at offensive coordinator, defensive coordinators, and it doesn't work. It has never worked for him. I don't want to hear all these 15,000 excuses about it not working. Oh, it happens. It doesn't work out. It has never worked for him. Show me where he's had the success. Why is it so hard for you guys to do that? Why is it so hard for you guys to just show me where it has worked for him? Show me where he's been consistent. Just show me. I know the history of the NFL just as well as you do, but show me. I've seen the consistency with a Dan Campbell and his offense and his defense. I've seen the consistency with a Sean Payton-led offense. I've seen it with 3 teams. I've seen what Jim Harbaugh can do to an offense and a defense. I've seen what he can do. I've seen what John Harbaugh can do consistently with his team, his offense, his special team. I've seen it. I've seen consistency. But when I ask you guys, what is the consistent aspect of any of things that Raheem have done? Everybody start pointing their finger at, well, everybody else have these problems. I didn't ask that. Hey, look, John Harbaugh, do y'all know anything about Campbell? Do y'all know anything about Campbell? See, this is what happens when you're uninformed. When we talk about not calling plays, I ain't said shit about no calling plays. You never heard me say. Now y'all just pulling fingers out your asshole because I never once said anything about play call. You didn't hear me say nothing about Raheem calling no plays. Not a single time that you hear me say that Raheem Morris need to call plays. You heard me say that the guys that he brought in, okay? Let me break this down slowly because comprehension is not something you guys understand. You don't comprehend. You listen to words, but you don't comprehend. When we talk about Raheem Morris, when we talk about what his skill set is, what he does well, he is a guy that puts together schemes. passing schemes. These are his defensive schemes. He put this together. And what happens is a lot of times the a lot of the defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators have been given a list of plays from the head coach to run for them. Let me say this again, okay? Because comprehension and football knowledge is not something that everybody knows, and this is why I'm here to help you. The offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator are giving a list of plays via the head coach. Do you understand why they have passing game coordinators? Do you guys know what they are? Passing game coordinators? Do y'all know what that is? How you doing, Eric? Do you know what that means? Passing game coordinators. If you look at Raheem's record, if you look at what he's been a passing game coordinator for the offense and the defense. Offense and defense. Raheem has been a part of the offensive defense for designing plays for passing game and the offensive passing game, defensive passing game and offensive passing game. That's what Raheem has been. So these are his plays he's designing not only for the offense, but the defense. And this is why he brought in Zach Robinson, because Zach Robinson had the exact same formula and plays with the Rams. Do you know what Jimmy Lake's job was with this? Okay. Do you know what Jimmy Lake's job is now and was with the Rams? See, y'all are going to learn things, because a lot of these content creators ain't teaching y'all this stuff. Passing game coordinators. Go look at Raheem's coaching resume and you will see this. That he was DB, wide receiver coach one time, and passing game coordinators. You'll see it for yourself. Passing game coordinators help design plays. This is what the head coach in Miami, Mike McDaniel, he was this what the Atlanta Falcons was. He was helping Kyle Shanahan design plays for the Atlanta Falcons in 2015 and 16. Right along with LaFleur, all these guys. So they were helping design the plays, okay? Since you said that I said that it's about calling plays, well, he is the one that's designing the plays, sir. Why does it matter? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter, because he's handing a certain plays, and every once in a while you see certain defensive coordinators, if they've earned the right, they have if they earn the right to call their own plays. Guys like Jeff Ulbrich, guy like Matt Patricia, who y'all throw out there. These guys have earned the right, because on the defensive side of the ball, they earn the right to what? To call their own certain plays. So the guys, y'all say that guys like Dan Campbell doesn't call plays. He doesn't have to call the plays because he designed them. He designed those plays. It's the same thing when y'all go back and say Jimmy Lake. He was running the defense. Yeah, he was running the defense that Raheem designed. These are the plays that he was given. He was given this by Raheem Morris. And Dan Campbell, the same guy that you said that he doesn't run those plays, he doesn't have to call the plays because he fucking designed them. He knows what should and how these plays and when these plays should be. So what he does as a head coach, all right, this is These plays aren't working. We need to go to the next thing. And when he needs to step in, Dan Campbell steps in and he calls the plays himself. When he needs, if he needs to. But he's going to go to his offensive coordinator because it's his offense. Because he's a tight end. You know what the tight end is a part of? The tight end is a part of both running game and the passing game. So that's why that Detroit Lions offense is so great. It's because he understands how to not only run the ball, but pass the ball and use that together. That's why the Detroit Lions passing game, guys like Sam Laporta, all these guys are good because he understands how to not only put these guys in a situation where they can win, but he understands the rhythm in the passing game, how it goes together. So Dan Campbell, he knows this. So if his offensive coordinator isn't doing his job, guess what? He can take it away. So he doesn't need to call the plays because he fucking designed them. It's really essential. It's really important for everybody to understand everyone's job. Every defensive coordinator is not calling his plays. Most of them are not calling his plays, unless you're a guy like Dean Pease who've earned the right to do that. When most defensive coordinators are doing what their boss told them to do. Okay? So I want you guys to get out of your feelings and start showing me consistency. I want Raheem to show me consistency. If he's going to be consistent with the DBs, I'm all for that. I'm all for the Atlanta Falcons defensive backs being the strength of the team. But at some point, we just got to be real. There's no real strength at this particular point. And this guy's been in the league for 20 years. 20 years. This is no scrub. This guy has the knowledge, but it's not translating. So all this sweet talking, hell, oh, baby, 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 all that sweet talk, all this NSYNC love song singing that they doing to y'all fucking fans, that shit need to stop. Okay, all this new edition, dial my baby number that he doing to y'all, that shit gotta stop. When I dial my baby number, there's a click. No, look. All this love song that he doing for y'all, look, that shit gotta stop. Sometimes you just gotta be real with yourself. Stop pointing the fingers at everybody else and see what he is. I know when I got up, look, one thing I know when I look at, and Sonya, you know this, when I look at Brian Snitker, he is very unconventional with his managerial skills. Very unconventional. Excuse me. He's very unconventional. He's the one that put Ronald Acuna, our best hitter, at leadoff. That's unconventional. One thing I do know about Snake, like him being so unconventional, he has a tendency to know how to put the hot guy in a certain spot where offensively it just clicks for the Braves, and that's why they end up winning the championship. We lost Ronald Acuna, and we won the World Series. Why? Because Nick just pushed all the right buttons at the right time. I know I'm going to get there from Snicker. I know that. He drives me insane with the shit he be doing with our pitching staff. But that I know for sure he's going to, I'm going to get Snick to push the right buttons at the right time. And a lot of times we go on a lot of long losing streaks because he doesn't do anything. But when I look at Raheem, I know he's just going to be sitting up looking at the damn Titantron or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. And smiling and holding his arms, folding his arms. I know what I'm going to get from him. I know I'm going to get DBs that get a lot of interceptions. I know that I'm going to get that from Raheem. If there's one thing that I say that he's what I feel, I believe, is that he's going to have DBs that's going to be around the ball. But oftentimes, he pulls the trigger, he pulls the right move way too late. Or he doesn't do anything at all. This man here, see, see, y'all take a look at this too with Dog Rule. See, this is just an outright lie. Okay? This is an excuse. This is weak. This man been in the league for 20 years. This dude don't know how to call a timeout properly. You've been the defensive coordinator 2-3 times. And you still don't know when to properly call a timeout? You've been in the league for 20 years. He's been in the league for 20 years. Count it yourself. 20 years. And we keep hearing, well, he's only been the head coach for 1 year. That's not even true. Jeff Ulbrich was a head coach. Jeff Ulbrich was a fill-in head coach when they fired Saleh. Raheem was a fill-in head coach when they fired Dan Quinn. He's been a head coach before. That ain't no excuses for not understanding how to call a damn timeout. And yes, we saw a clip of him practicing calling timeouts. But we keep hearing these Raheem apologies. Y'all want to see the future? Y'all want to see the future? Like it's goddamn, like this is fucking episode of fucking Matrix or something. I don't give a fuck about no future. Right here, right now. I don't give a fuck about 1 year ahead. Look, he better get this shit done right now. Up here talking about what the future holds. And, oh, you gonna be in a year for 1 year. Who cares? Did you hear Miami Dolphins fans talking about that with Mike McDaniel? No, they signed all those weapons and all those players, and they said, motherfucker, you better get it done. Let me say this again. With Mike McDaniel, when they saw them bring all those weapons, they already had Tua, they brought in A-Chain. They brought all them guys in, they said, get it done, or else. The Falcons fans say, no, well, he's only been here a year. Y'all was so quick to get rid of Arthur Smith. You was so quick to get rid of every player. Y'all quick to trash players and get rid of players for not being consistent. But soon as we have a coach y'all love, nope. Now, I don't want to hear that bullshit because, look, you can suck a dog elephant toenail off, okay? Because if that happened with the Georgia Bulldogs, y'all be fucking rioting. Y'all motherfuckers would be rioting if this happened, if Kirby came out and we won 5 games in the season. You motherfuckers would be rioting. He had a stretch of playing good defense, Chargers, Raiders, and Giants. That was a nice 3-game stretch. Let me ask y'all a serious question. Are you guys cool with having a nice 3-game stretch of dominant defense? Are you guys cool with being bottom of the half league for most of the year, and then oh my god, Raheem put a nice 3-game dominant defense stretch together. Are you guys good with that? Are y'all good with that? We had like a 4-game, we had like a 5-game, no, it was about 4 to 5 games where the defense got over 20 something sacks and about, so, but is that good enough for y'all? And watch they say, oh, but it's a start. Is that cool, or do y'all want to be consistent? Do you want to be consistently in the middle of the pack and higher? Or are you cool with having a 3-game stretch of dominant defense and the rest of the fucking year is always up and down? Because that's what you're saying to me. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from y'all. I'm hearing, yep. Let them. We're gonna give them 2 to 3 years to finally understand, to finally learn how to be a coach. He's been in the league for 20 years, but we're gonna give him another 3 to 4, 5 years to finally learn how to be a good coach. Y'all wanted to run damn Desmond Ritter into a goddamn wall and off the Empire State Building after a what? 7 to 10 game stretch as a quarterback. Y'all want to run this man out of the fucking country. This man up here contemplating retirement because y'all destroyed this man. Y'all attacked him in every which situation in which way, media and fans. But this motherfucker right here putting up inconsistent numbers defensively, and y'all want to say give him 2 to 3 years to finally get it. What the fuck is wrong with that picture? Let's run Desmond Ritter and blame everything on Desmond Ritter and blame everything on Arthur Smith. But you want to give this guy chance after chance, 2, 3 years to finally get it together. Y'all want to give Raheem 2 to 3 years to get it together, but y'all ran Desmond Ritter out. He had the same exact numbers than a lot of these quarterbacks that we see now. These guys are barely throwing for 3,000. Jalen Hurts had what? 31? I think he had like less than 30. I know it was less than 3,200 yards passing. And won a Super Bowl. And y'all said that was enough. Desmond Ritter damn near had the exact same numbers that he did. But y'all ran him out of the fucking country. Y'all attacked him every chance y'all could get on social media. Attacked him and his family. But Raheem Morris, mediocre, bottom of the pack, y'all saying, yep, let's give him 2, 3 more years. Oh, so now he goes from this is funny. Now this is funny. I'm about to read y'all what this guy's. This guy goes from saying he's only been in the league for a year, he's only been head coach for 1 year, to saying nobody's saying let's give him 2, 3 more years. I think when somebody insinuates he's only been a head coach for 1 year, what you're saying is be patient with him. Let's give him more time to waste our time when he's showing us nothing. That's what I'm hearing. But you correct me what you're saying, Dog Rule, about Raheem Morris. Tell me what you're saying, because you said, okay, you wrote this. He's only been a head coach for a year. So tell me, inform me, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me, somebody, tell me why I am wrong. Tell me what you're saying about Raheem. Because what I'm hearing from your comments, we need to give this guy another chance, even though he's been in it as a coach in the NFL for 20 years. We need to give him 2 to 3 more years to finally find himself as a head coach. Even though he's been in the league for 20 years, we need to give him 2 to 3 more years. Because that's what I'm hearing. Well, I don't. What do you guys think when you hear people say he's only been a coach for 1 year? What do you guys get out of that? Because that's what I hear. Maybe I'm wrong. That's probably it. I'm wrong. This is a part of Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad Mike Sports, and the Unholy Alliance. When you ask questions, people forget how to type. They forget how to talk. They forget how to type. They forget how to hit that link on the stream. They forget all of that. They don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it no more. All of a sudden, nobody. Come on, sir. You were typing up a damn storm. Now I'm saying that we expect all coaches to win. And no. That's not. Don't put words in my motherfucking mouth. That's not what I said. See, you don't redefine what I said, because I said, show me anywhere in his career where he's been consistent and he's shown growth as a defensive coach, because that's what he is. That's what he is. This is about consistency. This is not about Raheem not being a good coach. This is about consistency, and consistency is the only way you're going to win. Stop the bullshit. Okay? Stop it. The only way you're going to win is being consistent. Don't sit up here and say, I'm losing my motherfucking mind or I'm being unreasonable, because that's the only way you're going to win is being consistent. You can't win if you aren't consistent defensively. You can't win if you aren't consistent offensively. You can't win if you can't run the ball consistently. You can't win if you can't pass the ball consistently. You can't win if you don't win in the fourth quarter, when you need your quarterback to step up, when you need your defense to step up, when you need your offense to step up, when you need your coaches to be able to call timeouts in the right time, in the right place consistently. You can't win. So what are you saying, sir? You said your words. No, I'm saying that we expect all coaches to win, and his story as the Atlanta Falcons head coach is still being written. Emphasis on we expect all coaches to win. We expect them to be consistent. And let me ask you another question, sir. How do you win consistently? Because we all want to win, but how are you going to win consistently? Let anybody answer this question. Anybody can answer it. How are you going to win consistently? What do you need for your coaches and your defense, your offense, your special teams? What do you have to do in order to win consistently? We don't care about getting 1 wins and 7 wins and 8 wins. How are you going to do that? How do you win consistently? This is what we're talking about, the hypocrisy, because we love and we attach to certain players and attach to certain people. Kurt went 4 games, no touchdown, and still started Kurt against the Vikings because he felt he owed him. That's a player coach. Again, how are we going to win consistently? These are questions you have to answer. You got to be real about yourself. This ain't about bashing Raheem. because he has the qualities to be a good head coach, but he's not putting forth the action. It's amazing when you start asking people questions and answer them, they get real quiet. I guess this is the talent that this is. I guess this is what the unholy alliance in the Atlanta Falcon Nation. Why people don't deal with us, because we ask questions. When we ask questions, everybody gets stupid. Everybody get dumb. Everybody don't want. Oh, I gotta go to the store. Oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm watching my baby mama. Oh, I'm spending time with my daughter. Hey, I'm spending time with my grandma. Hey, man, my dog died. It's amazing when you start asking the right questions, people just get quiet. Again, how are you going to win consistently in order to get to a Super Bowl? This is not a difficult question. How are you going to win consistently and get to the Super Bowl? Here you go. It's still been written how hard. It's not. Am I being unreasonable, y'all? Please tell me, man, Mike, and I will stop right now. I will stop this show. Tell me if I'm being unreasonable by asking a simple question. How do the Atlanta Falcons get to the Super Bowl? What do you need in order for the team to get to a Super Bowl? I want to know. Please tell me. It's still being written. What needs to be written? You want to write a book, but ain't got no damn foundation. You want to write a book, but ain't got no foundation. Even in writing a book, you still gotta have a plot. You have to have a story. You have to have something that you're gonna start. So don't tell me nothing about no damn book that's being written. Everybody's on the same page as coaches and players. Yeah, everybody's on a Rich. Stop the bullshit. Everybody want to win. Duh. Come on, Rich. I get what you're saying, but everybody want to win. But what does it take in order to win? Damn, maybe I should start chewing gum live, because ain't nobody answering no damn questions now. I guess I'll just stop, because obviously nobody wants to answer the questions about how do you get to the Super Bowl. Nobody is answering any questions on how you get to the Super Bowl, but yet and still we need to sit up here and wait and quite possibly. Great coaching, man, Mike. That's the only answer. Again, what is great? In order to be a great coach, what do you need, though? Jay Sheep says consistency. That's it. Thank you, Jay. The answer is consistency. And you can't have consistency if you don't have consistency. You can't have wins if you don't have consistency. And throughout his entire career, wherever he's been, it hasn't been consistency. Consistency. And this year, defensively, under Raheem Morris, hasn't been consistent. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You got to have consistent effort in getting interceptions. You got to have consistent effort in stopping the run, rushing the passer, playing solid third down defense. You got to be consistent in your coaching and your game planning. You got to be consistent in 4 quarters as a quarterback and not making mistakes. You got to be consistent as a running back and not fumbling the ball and being in the offensive line consistently open up the lanes. but consistency is where it is, not hope. The Falcons are not going to win because we hope Raheem is going to finally get it together. It all begins in consistency. So Jeff Ulbrich and Raheem are going to have to consistently put forth the effort and improvement. It becomes it's a matter of improvement. So it's not that difficult. But we're so focused on players that we love, we like, we look at their skills. Oh, he runs a 4.4. This guy's a 6'7" and 300 pounds, and he runs a 4.5. We're so focused on those things, we're not looking at the consistency. We're not looking at our coach's ability to put players in certain situations. It doesn't even have to be, we're not looking, and me personally, I'm not looking at Raheem to make some massive jump to be a top 10 defense or anything like that. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking at improvement. And ever since he's been the defensive coordinator, I haven't seen any improvement. But this is what we're talking about. You can't say he's a great coach and he deserves another opportunity if he isn't being consistent. What if Matt Ryan gave us 5,000 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, in the following year he got 35 and 25 touchdowns and 20 interceptions? Is that consistency? Because I can guarantee if that was Matt Ryan, if that was Mike Vick, you guys will not be screaming, yep, let's give him another chance. Let's give him another opportunity. So this is what we're talking about. We got to hold these coaches, and it's not just Raheem. It's the Jerry Grays, it's everybody who's a part of that defense. But this is Raheem's defense. This is his team. This is his design. This is what he pitched to the Atlanta Falcons. And if there's no consistency on any side of the ball, whether it's stopping the run or stopping the pass or interceptions, whatever, there has been no consistency on that defense. None. One player has been consistent for the Atlanta Falcons. Two people have been consistent on the Atlanta Falcon defense, and that's Jesse Bates and that's AJ Terrell. Everybody else has been up and down and up and down. And at some point, we got to start looking at Raheem Morris, who's the architect of that defense, who's the architect of this Falcons. We got to say to ourselves, all right, maybe they the problem. Because nobody cared that, y'all know this. Throw some emojis or something in there. Some red and black. Nobody cares about what Kirk Cousins did in the first 5-10 games of the season. Nobody cares that he threw for 3,500 yards. Nobody cares. Why? Because he played like shit at the times that we needed him most. Am I wrong? Nobody cared that he was in the top 5 in passing. Nobody cared. Nobody cared that Kirk Cousins was a top 5 passer. Nobody cared that the Atlanta Falcons were the top 10 offense in the league. Why? Because we failed. We failed in the moments, and we were not consistent. Inconsistency is what get players and coaches fired. Nobody cares if you aren't consistent. You got to go. Nobody cares. I need my players and my coaches to be consistent at one particular thing. If I bring you in to be a pass rusher and you're not getting me if you're not getting me pressure and you're not getting me sacks, guess what? I'm going to bring another motherfucker in to take your job because I brought you in here to do what? To get sacks. And if you're not giving me sacks, guess what? You got to go. And that's why Grady Jarrett ass is not here in Atlanta. We paid you $20 million hoping that will motivate you and get you to the next level and get more sacks. And it didn't happen. And that's why he's not here. We hire head coaches to get wins. We hire head coaches to build great offenses, great defense, and special teams. We hire these guys to do a job, and we're not getting those results. Then what the hell are we hiring them for? Hope, maybe? To do press conference? So hey, look, all I'm hearing is the head coach always get the blame. Don't care. Let's see. This is a hypocrisy and shit that I'm talking about. Can anybody tell me why we hired? Anybody can tell me why we hired Mike Smith? Why do we hire Mike Smith? Yeah, somebody tell me why we hired Mike Smith. Why did we hire Dan Quinn? And why did we hire Raheem Morris? Why did we hire Arthur Smith? Why do we hire all those guys? I look, because I know why we drafted Julio Jones. I know why we drafted Matt Ryan. I know why we drafted Bijan Robinson. I know why we drafted Kyle Pitts. I know why we brought in Darnell Mooney. I know why we brought in certain guys. But why did we hire Raheem Morris? Why did we hire Raheem Morris? Hoping that he's the guy, hoping he's the great hope, that we hire him, hoping that we hire him to build the defense and be consistent at something. For the culture. For good PR. Look, man, I'm just like, why did we hire Raheem Morris? Oh, now it's late. It's late to ask why did we hire these guys? Hold on. How did that make sense? How is it late to ask that question? How is it late? Because I can tell you exactly why we hired all four of those guys. To chew gum. All right. We hired Mike Smith to build us a good, solid front seven. I was very good at that when he was a defensive coordinator with Jacksonville. That's why we hired him. We hired Arthur Smith because at that time we needed to rebuild our offensive line for Matt Ryan, and he was good with the offensive line, play action, and running game. So that's why we hired Arthur Smith. Raheem Morris, if you look at what we brought him in, he's very good at DBs, very good at we hoped at that particular time, but we hoped that Raheem would be able to bring in, because he had a lot of connections. That's one thing about Raheem. He has a lot of connections to a lot of coaches in the NFL. We know that. But if you look at his skill set, We were hoping that he would be able to kind of help bring back that cover two, the scheme that he learned in Tampa, the Tampa 2, have a dominant defensive backfield. That's why we hired him. He wasn't one of the guys that, he's respected as a defensive line coach or a linebacker coach. We brought him in to be a defensive guy, a defensive backs guy for the most part, that could use his skill sets and his influence, not only with the players, but with coaches. So far, he's done that with the DBs, but I haven't seen any of his coaches, his connections. I haven't seen them guys do it, because we already know that Jimmy Lake wasn't the guy that we was hoping he is. That's been an absolute failure. So far, everything that we hoped that Raheem would be for us has failed. So far. But we didn't have any issues with our secondary. Our secondary was consistent for the most part. I'm glad you said we brought him in the head coach. See, this is such a weak and cowardly response. This is such a cowardly response. We brought him in to be the head coach. But every head coach doesn't have the same skill set. Every coach doesn't have the same skill set. A head coach, you still got to be able to pitch something. The Denver Broncos didn't hire Sean Payton to be a head coach. They hired him to build them a damn good offense, an elite offense. That's why they hired him. Because they had already had a top-notch defense, and they already had a defense coordinator. So they brought him in to not be a head coach. They brought him in to build an elite offense. Okay? A head coach still has to have skills. You don't hire guys just to tell people what to do. That's not why you hire a head coach. You hire a head coach to either be a defensive guru or offensive guru. Oh, wow. This dude said we didn't hire him to be a head. We didn't hire him to build a defense. We didn't hire a defensive coach to be a defensive. We didn't hire a defensive coordinator for the Rams. We did not hire. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to Dog Rule. He said that we did not hire Raheem Morris to build us a defense. We essentially hired him to tell everybody what to do. So we just hired Raheem to smile in everybody's face? To be a damn counselor to the damn players? That's what you saying? Because that's what I'm hearing. We didn't hire Raheem to build a defense for us. Even though that's his level of expertise, we didn't hire him for that. That's what you telling me? We brought him in to be a head coach. So on top of you saying that, so you telling me that we didn't hire him for nothing. We didn't hire him to help build the defense. We didn't hire him. We didn't hire him to help build the defense. We didn't help. We hired him to not build the offense. We just brought him in to tell everybody else to do and manage the players. That's what you telling me? This is what this guy telling me. We just hired him to be a head coach to tell everybody what to do. Now we didn't bring in Raheem to build an elite DB group, and so far he's done pretty good. Him and Terry Fontenot has done pretty good building the defensive secondary. I personally believe. I think we have one of the best, not only You know, we got some veterans and AJ and Jesse, but Watts, Kobe Bryant, all those guys so far, Mike Hughes, Clark Phillips, they done a good job of being that. So you telling me that they didn't bring him in to build a solid defense? You brought him in to be a head coach. This is incredible, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this up. We did not hire Raheem Morris to build us a defense. We didn't hire Raheem Morris to help build us a defense. We did not do that. We brought him in to tell everybody what else to do and watch over everybody. Essentially, what y'all saying, we hired a goddamn security guard. That's what I got out of that. We brought Raheem Morris in to just be a damn security guard and watch everybody else do their job. This is what this guy just told me. This is what this guy just told you, Falcons fan. We brought Raheem Morris in here to be a security guard. This man told us that we brought him in to be Craig and Day Day. Yeah, well, I know what you essentially said. But you said, what is a head coach's job? It's to watch over people. That's what you're saying. You don't even know what you're saying at this point. You just talking. You just typing and typing and typing. We brought this guy in to be an expertise in a field. And his field is defense. So you said that we brought him in to be a head coach and not help build a defense. We hired him to build a team. No, that's not what you hire him to do. You hire a head coach who's good at a particular field. In this particular instance, this coach, he is good at building a defense. He didn't build the Atlanta Falcons offense. He didn't build the Rams offense. He didn't build the Washington offense. He didn't build any yet. No, I'm repeating. Hey, y'all, throw some. Look, throw something in there. Somebody tell me. Somebody either send a super chat. Say, Mike, no, that's not what he said. Am I wrong? Because this guy said he look. We said we hire him to build a team. No, that's why you have a president of football operations is to build a team. You hire the general manager to bring in the personnel and to draft guys. Okay? The head coach is not there to build a team. That's the team president and the general manager and the assistant general managers. Those guys have the vision. The head coach is to take what they brought in to build them up to essentially not only build them up but to develop these guys. This is what the coaches are. Their job is not to build a defense. And this is his first time building his own defense. This is why I said time and time again that we should not fire him. Give him an opportunity. But we're not going to sit up here and pretend like he ain't good at shit right now. And nothing with this team is improving. So far, it's not. It's the same thing we've been getting for the last 20 years. Or at least 13. Since 2012. No, I'm not. No, I'm reading what you said. I'm just expanding on what you said. This ain't about no gaslighting. Because you said you brought him in, the Falcons. Okay, let me see this. We hired him to build a team, and that's not his job. Because if we hired him to build a team, we would have given him the title general manager and team president of football operations. That's what Bill Belichick had. Bill Belichick was the general manager and head coach. So he was the guy that was in charge of bringing in certain players. We didn't hire him for that. So maybe you need to understand what each position in the front office, what that means. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting wrong. Just because you're the head coach doesn't mean you're in charge of building a defense. Your job when you're a head coach and the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, is to develop the offense, to develop the defense. Whatever your level of expertise is, your job as the head coach is to develop them. It's not to build a team. That lies with the team president, the team scouts, and the general manager. That's not his job, sir. He's there to be of assistance, to tell, all right, I like this player. This guy right here, this guy, I think I can add a little bit to his skill set. I can coach him to be, a superstar or a star player, or at the very least, a valuable player to the team. That's his job. So that's the difference. So, like I said before, this dude he's going to have to show. And this is not just on him. If the Falcon defense doesn't improve, we're going to be looking at Raheem. We're going to be looking at Jeff Ulbrich. We're going to be looking at Jerry Gray and saying, yep, y'all got to go. Because our defense is not changing. Our defense is not getting better. And don't be surprised, like a guy like Zach Robinson, Tyler Yates, TJ Yates, those guys might be up for a possible shot at their Falcons head coaching job if these guys don't get it done on the defense side of the ball. Just saying. No. Since you maybe got it wrong, or maybe I said it wrong, let me repeat this. The job of a head coach is to help develop the team. It's not to build the team, okay? Building a team lies with the team president, the president of football operations, okay? To oversee not only the coaching, but the players and the scheme and the system that they want to run. That lies with the team president. The general manager's job is to bring in said players with said vision. Okay? You bring in said players with said vision, but the vision lies with the football operations. Okay? The president of football operations. The president of football operations design whether they want to be an offensive passing team, running team, a certain style of defense they want to run. That lies with them. That lies with the president of football operations. The general manager is the guy that's supposed to go out, scout, draft, sign the players that fit the president's scheme. What the head coach's job, if he only is the head coach and he's not the general manager, his job is to develop said players on offense, on defense, or special teams. That's his job. So even if I said it wrong, I just told you exactly, and I corrected myself. So let's just say I did say it wrong. Xavier Lemon said his job is to guide those players based on his expertise. In his case, defense. He said himself he wants to be the overseer, which he's always said, by the way. That's what he's always said. He wants to be the overseer, and that's fine. He said himself he wants to be the overseer. He also said he wants to delegate responsibility to his coaches. No, I got you, Zay. No, because because the thing is, I got no problem being wrong, but obviously you have a major problem with being wrong. Because you keep saying that the Falcons didn't hire him to be good at defense, to be good at Raheem Morris never said that he wanted to design the offense. Never said that. That's why he brought in Zach Robinson. That's why they brought in DJ Williams. That's why TJ Yates is still with the Atlanta Falcons. Because he's allowing those guys. What's the other guy? Good guy. Zampezi. They brought him in to help develop that offense. So Raheem was not brought in to be anything with this offense. Oh, go to hell, Mill. So that's what we're talking about. So, like I said before, I don't give a damn about no hope. I don't give a damn about no 2-3 years ahead of time. We need to get this shit right now. I don't want to be talking about no 2 to 3 years when Raheem finally get it together. Fuck that. And I know Arthur Blank is thinking the same thing. Y'all up here saying because you like motherfuckers and you like players and you like coaches. Fuck all that. To hell with that. I don't give a fuck about no 2 to 3 years down the line. Let's get this stuff right now. We got to get it right now. All this hope because you like guys and look, I don't care nothing about that. It's time to get this right, bro. It's time to get it right. Y'all can leave that hope to goddamn Martin Luther King or whoever the fuck. Keep hope alive. You can keep that shit to yourself. Get this shit right. Build us a defense that we can at least see the hope. We can't even see hope. We keep hoping with our damn eyes closed. We hoping with our eyes closed. Nope. I want to hope with my damn eyes. I want to hope and see it. Show me the money. Don't talk about the money. Show me the money. Don't talk about the money. The end. And that's the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. So, like at the end of the day, y'all got to let go of this hope bullshit. I don't give a fuck about no hope. It's not like Raheem is he's a first year head coach. This man has been a head coach. He's been a defensive coordinator. He's been a leader of defense. He's been a leader, one of the leaders of a team and one of the leaders for an offense. He's been that already. It's not like he's a rookie quarterback coming to the league for the first time. This man been in the league. Y'all kiss my natural ass with all this. Oh, he needs more time to finally get. Man, get out of here. You've been in the room with Tony Dungy. You've been in the room with Kyle Shanahan. You've been in the room with Joe Gibbs. You've been in the room with all these great coaches. And you talking about hope? And you still can't put together a good defense and show us something consistently? Nah, y'all can keep that hope alive to y'all motherfucking self. Y'all keep that shit to y'allself. And that's all I got to say about that. Continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. Like I always say here, don't take anything that we say here personally. It's all about the spirit of debate. And that right there is the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. Peace.